About a month ago, there was a YouTube ad that had a pretty specific message that I couldn't not think about after I had seen it. And it kind of bothered me a little bit. And of course, these ads are all the same. You tend to get pockets of ads that tend to follow the trends of the videos that you're watching. So you'll get the same ads over and over again with different people. And the advertisements that I tend to get are learn how to make money online, buy my course so that you can make $20,000 a month, learn how to do Facebook advertisements, things like that. And it's not unfounded that this one was one of those. And of course, I run several e-commerce businesses, and one of them specifically for well over 15 years. And so I'm always watching videos with updated technology and new trends and things that we have to pay attention to when Google says that you have to be mobile friendly or you have to adjust to different types of formats and sizes. So I'm always watching these types of videos to make sure my websites are on the cutting edge of technology. And as you can imagine, I get these advertisements that promote businesses that talk about e-commerce. And one in particular that stood out to me was a young kid, and it's the standard story. We know how marketing works. Someone's in college, they have $40,000 worth of loans, they get out of college and realize that they're going to be working at a gas station because that's the scam of the university system here in America. And they graduate, hit the ripe old age of 22, and realize that they're stuck in a world of the 9 to 5 in a mediocre, medium wage job for the rest of their lives. Same thing that we all realize when we turn 22. But I can't help notice that this new wave of millennials really seems to become hyperbolic about dreading the 9 to 5 job. So in this particular advertisement, the young kid was talking about finishing his school, and I think he worked in one of those retail box stores. So in this particular advertisement, this young kid was finishing school, and his particular job that he dreaded going to had to do with a checkout cashier at a retail store. And he talked about how the sound of the drawer ringing over and over again was grinding on him, which seems a little bit much to me. And I want to address this attitude about work in general. For some reason, people equate working on the internet as a way to go and hide out somewhere so that you don't have to work. And that couldn't be farthest from the truth. When you're starting up a new business, no matter where it is, whether or not it's online or out in the real world, all you do is work. One of the most important things to realize about being an entrepreneur and starting your own business is the animal that is the entrepreneur is the ultimate alpha worker. Full stop, period, end. If you want to be a business owner, you have to be willing to work. And the mentality and attitude that someone who has an average, mediocre job is something that we could mock or dread is the wrong attitude if you're going to be starting your own business. Because there are aspects of every single job that are something that you might not want to do, but you have to do because you're the only guy in the show at the moment. And my mother once told me that you never mock a person who has an honest job. Because when you think about it, if a person gets up every day, no matter what they do, if they are working on a conveyor belt, putting one cog into another cog over and over and over, and that is their job, you do not mock that person, and that is also not a job that is beneath you to do as well, because you don't know what circumstances might lead you to be accepting a position like that, number one. And number two, that person who chose to work an honest job could have decided to get up that day and do something else. He could have decided to rob your house, or he could have decided to get in his car and go do something illicit that made more money, that ruined or destroyed or degraded your neighborhood, but he didn't. He got up and he went to work an honest job. And we never shame people and we never mock people who are doing something that you perceive is not worth your time and that you maybe are smarter or better than them. And the reason why this YouTube advertisement was rehashed in my memory was because I was at Walmart just a few weeks ago, and there was a lady who was helping me in the camping section. We were looking for some widget or gadget, and she and I couldn't figure out where to find this thing, where it would be classified on the shelves. And after a good solid 10 minutes of searching for this particular camping item, she looked at me, and she was present and helpful, but she looked a little bit sad, and she said to me, I studied at Yale. I have a degree in English from Yale, and I can't find this thing on a shelf. And it was sort of a moment of sadness. I mean, I didn't know how to respond to her. I pat her on the back, tell her it's going to be okay. There's nothing wrong with the thing that she was doing. And somehow at some point she had felt shamed, or she had felt like this was beneath her, and she was embarrassed in front of me, albeit not knowing who I am or even what I do. It was entirely made up in her imagination that she should feel this way. So of course I tried to be as courteous and polite as I could, but it really struck me as interesting because there are plenty of people who walk around who have far overqualified degrees that you and I might not know about. And then there are people who walk around that you think have some sort of position of authority or who are brilliant and maybe didn't get out of the 6th grade because they grew up in an Eastern European country and came over as an immigrant. We'll never know. You and I don't know that by looking at someone. So this is just something I wanted to address in the concept of one thinking about starting their own business. If you're doing it because you think work is dirty, then you're going to be going in the wrong direction if you think you want to start your own business, because it's still work and there are parts of it that are going to look really dirty to you because you've got to do all the jobs and you're the only guy who's going to be emotionally invested enough to be willing to do all the jobs that are required for that business, whatever it is that you choose. And you can't in your mind for a moment think that someone could be worthy of being shamed for taking a job that's beneath them, because I promise you that will turn around and be an impediment to you when you're trying to start your own business and you find yourself performing or in front of someone who might be perceiving you as doing something beneath them. That entire mentality is only going to be a barrier and a wall for you succeeding in your business. So when you decide to start your business, whether it's dog walking, house cleaning, car washing, or e-commerce, you have to own it. And the entire concept of your business is not to grab something so that you can hide out and not work. You have to move forward, and you have to be willing to work harder than the guy next to you.